What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. And in this video, we're talking about the fact that it's looking more and more like Iran is setting up for full-blown war with the United States in the region. It's looking with these the current reassignments within their security apparatus and the IRGC, chiefs of staffs and commanders and council representatives and stuff. They're it's looking more and more, and on top of that, the newest lines of or points of peace, points of agreement that Iran has put out towards the United States, and their new red lines are pretty much showing that Iran is sick and tired of all this, and they are ready for full-out war and get into business. So we're going to talk about this. Thank you very much for joining me here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you'd like to check out more from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos in front of more people. If you'd like to check out videos from my other channels, there's JMDPLAY there, JMD Puzzling. If you like what you see there, consider subscribing to those channels as well. That would be amazing. That's all free for you and helps out the channels tremendously. If you have to go further, there's Patreon there, $2 a month support any of the channels that you would like to help grow those channels, help grow Patreon, help grow JMD Nation, and contribute to that growth how you would like to. There's also a merch link there. I have merch for every single channel. So, if you like it, please get it. That'd be amazing. And if you're a Patreon member, you get a discount on that merch. So even more reason to be a Patreon member. But either way, any support you give is very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. And if you're returning, you're freaking amazing. Welcome back, and keep coming back. So, all right, we previously, I think it was last week at some point, basically Iran came out making the statements of, okay, these are now our new agreements. If you know, to get back to any type of negotiations with the United States, this is what has to happen. And it's basically everything that Iran originally was saying. You know, complete control of the Strait of Hormuz, the complete removal of all U.S. military assets in the region, and you know, and now not only are they pushing for, you know, peace and the cease of hostilities in Lebanon, but also Gaza, Yemen, Iraq, multiple areas. Basically stamping down. You control Israel. You shut them down. Stop all their aggression, and the United States, you stop your aggression on us and all of and everybody else as well. Completely remove yourself from the region. We will continue our work with Oman over the strait, and that, you know, because the way the conditions of the strait were before is never going to happen again. All right, from now on, it will be under our control, and there's nothing you can do about it. And basically, that's what they're stating. Hard pressed, hard line on. We are not talking with the United States, and we will not talk to the United States until these conditions are met. They have realized, with, you know, the fact that the United States has basically depleted, you know, all of our ability to protect, you know, with our different systems being destroyed, and our tomahawks and all of the other, like, defensive weaponry, missiles and stuff being depleted, and us literally not being able to actually stop anything being shot through, unless, you know, it's absolutely necessary to protect actual, like, troops, which we have stated that, you know, we are letting stuff through unless it actually, you know, is going to hit U.S. troops, and then we're using, you know, what limited equipment we have. Iran has realized They have finally suppressed and held back all of the U.S. aggression that we have done over the past 5-6 months. They've realized everything that they've been doing, all their defensive measures, has worked. The asymmetrical warfare that they have placed on the United States, which was apparently incapable of handling, incapable of defending, incapable of actually being successful against, has worked. And so now they stand on a much higher ground. We know that they are, getting support from, or it's assumed that they are getting support from China and possibly even Russia, and they, everything that they're doing is working. They have put pressure on the entire global economy around oil. They've been able to manage the Strait. They've been able to manage other locations and stuff with the use of the Houthis in Yemen and others to manage other routes of oil potential, trade. And it has bottlenecked the system once again. All because the United States was unwilling to actually accept and go through with the MOU that we previously had. We had our way out, and that was before all the information about, stuff, the depletion of our actual, defensive measures and stuff came out. And we could have easily set this all out, had peace in the region and everything else, backed out, had an agreement, no nuclearization and anything else, and now they're not even promising that. It's like, yeah, we're not promising that at all. But then when we decided to go back at them for 14 days, we were already having reports that we were low on stuff. Then we go 14 days straight of shooting and bombing all kinds of locations. Then the reports come out of, we've got to stop, for starters. When they're pleading with Trump, we've got to stop. Our own military commanders going, we got to stop. We're running out of stuff. We have hit everything that we could possibly hit. It's not making a difference. And we are literally running low on stuff right now. We've got to stop. And now we're getting reports that Iran has started the new supreme leader, which is the son of the previous one. Now, questions around his health and how he truly is, who knows? There's speculation, but whatever. That's not the point. Apparently, he is now appointed like 6 new leadership positions between the IRGC and other militia-like groups that they have, and of course, like leadership positions in council and stuff like that. Different positions. All of these appointments have a history of being more hardline and more of the position of offensiveness. Okay. Previous to this, Iran has been defensive. All of their actions have been defensive until they offensively decided to attack a U.S. military base in Jordan a couple of weeks ago. That was the first time they had actually done an offensive attack. They had done an attack that was not in retaliation. Okay. Understand the difference. Defensive versus offensive. When you do an attack that is not connected to retaliation of a previous attack made on you. Everything they had done previous to that was defensive. That was the first offensive attack, and now appointments are being made that are setting up for a shift in their military strategy that would be more offensive. That would be more in line with preparing for a truly all-out war with us if they need to. Again, it's not meaning that they're necessarily just going to shoot willy-nilly, but it is preparation for stronger and more effective attacks when they need to. And if we decide to go back at them full on again. I'm starting to feel like we have not seen anything yet. We have been completely fooled and bamboozled by this administration into, or at least their attempt. There have been many that have been fooled and bamboozled. I've been saying all along that this was all bullshit. But there are many that are being bamboozled and fooled into believing that the U.S. has full control of what we've been doing over there, and that Iran and all the things that they're saying is just bullshit. We have full control of the Strait of Hormuz, although quite literally Iran is controlling it. Ships that are moving through the Strait of Hormuz are moving through purposely through Iranian waters. The whole system of protected travel through the southern part of Hormuz, through the Omanian waters, that the U.S. quote unquote set up, ships are they're purposely not taking it. They're purposely going through Iranian waters and abiding by the Iranian blockade, those that are getting through. And any that do go through or attempt to try to skirt that is being met with military action by Iran, which is what happens when you're putting on a blockade. It's the same thing the United States is doing with our blockade. If we are deeming somebody is breaking through our blockade, we attack them. That's what a blockade is. While people have argued that, Iran's breaking rule of war, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're doing exactly what a blockade is. They've said they put it in place, and that's what it is. And everybody over there knows that's what it is. Those that are brave enough to try to go through it are met with what they're met with. And then they have to back out. This administration has done nothing but lie the entire time of this operation. They lied about why we did it. They've lied about our capabilities. They've lied about what we've destroyed. They've lied about the incapabilities of Iran. They've lied over and over and over and over again about Iran wanting peace so bad. So bad. They're wanting a peace so bad. They're begging. When we know it's actually been the opposite. This administration and what they have done here is complete embarrassment, humiliation of the United States and what we have put out as our capabilities and our strength for decades now. Completely humiliated and just full on showed the paper tiger that we are. That's what you get. There's always been a question of just how strong we really were. Just like there's a question of just how strong any country really is. Yeah, you have numbers and data and money that's thrown with each each country of what they've quote unquote put into their military. The United States, of course, we throw 2-3 times as much as anybody else. and quote and use those numbers and that, to inflate and say, how strong our military is, because, the idea is that if you're putting that much money into it and you're using that much money to make all this development of weaponry and ability and blah, 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 then you should theoretically be pretty fucking strong. But we also know that there have been years upon year upon year upon years now that the Pentagon hasn't been able to even pass an audit. Can't even account for like 60% or more of the actual money that has been given to it and where the fuck it's going. So we can't even show receipts for how strong our military, quote unquote, is. But that's what happens when you get dumb motherfuckers in Washington, in executive power, that think and have the mindset of, oh, how strong and powerful we are, and don't understand or comprehend the illusion, the veil that we, put up with the numbers and data, and we don't, but not truly actually do it, right? Not truly put forth military action, unless deemed absolutely necessary and in complete defense. No, they think, hey, it's about time for us to go hog wild. It's about time for us to talk, to no longer just talk, but we need to walk that walk, We need to show everybody just how fucking strong we are. Well, guess what? You fucked around and found out. That's what we did. That's what MAGA and this administration is encompassing. Full stop. Fuck around and find out. Now everybody knows. Now everybody knows that we're incapable of even taking on a country like Iran. And if we can't take on Iran, how are we going to manage taking on anybody else like Russia, China? The idea was that we'd be able to take on multiple fronts with as much money as we've thrown. We'd be able to take on 2, 3 different people at the same time. And now we've shown that we can't even take what we've been giving money and military means to Ukraine, which is only somewhat held back Russia. We've been giving it to Israel, and we've placed our people there in the Middle East to be able to take on, if need be. And what are we doing right now? We're running out of shit. Within less than 6 months, we've run out of shit to actually defend our troops or defend any countries that we've made claims to defend or protect. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. If you're somebody who prides yourself on the strength of America and how amazing we are, we're the biggest, baddest nation ever, you should be completely fucking humiliated right now. And it's Donald Trump and this administration that has shown that has put that on full display. How much of a paper tiger we really are. And now, Iran's in better shape than ever. And quite frankly, bravo. Yeah, I said it. Bravo. Because like I said in the previous video, they are apparently the only ones that has got the balls to actually put Israel in place. Nobody else seems to. Yeah, we've got some some country leadership and stuff that, has a lot of rhetoric and talk about how bad it is and how they need to be put in line, but they're not actually doing any actions to do so. Iran's the only one fucking trying to do it. Actually putting, money where their mouth is and actually applying pressure on them to stop their aggression and all these different avenues and stuff that they are doing. They're the only country, the only Arab. They're proving the whole idea of Iran being an Arab nation and the only Arab nation in the Middle East. Like, full stop. Because all the other quote unquote Arab nations just have at this point have puppet governments that the United States has put in place that feed to the West, while their people, really can't stand them. But they're under authoritarian rule. Iran is showing that to all the Arabs in the area that they are the only nation that can actually protect them, that can root out all this Western influence, all this Western control. Proving their whole point and their argument for why they assist and help Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and the militia groups and stuff in Iraq and Syria. We have got to come to terms with the current situation. If an actual legitimate reasonable leadership was in Washington, we already would have. We wouldn't have gotten this to begin with, but at this point we would have realized, fuck, this is over. We can't go any further. We messed up. We've got to just back out. Matter of fact, they would have already done so. They would have done so through the MOU. They would have done so before the MOU, when they could argue that at least we got back into a previous agreement. Now, it ain't even close to the previous agreement. Iran is now built with even more strength and more capability to become a powerhouse, like they once were, honestly. And the United States might as well come to terms with that. Because again, the other option is full out war. And if that happens, people are going to die. There's no way around it. It's going to be it's going to not only be damaging to actual life, but it will be damaging to the entire image and the relationships globally that the U.S. has. The U.S. empire will basically be done, if it isn't already. peace through strength is fake. It was never legitimate. You can't bomb people into peace. It just doesn't happen. Not without quite literally eliminating them from the earth. It's common sense when you bring death and destruction on a group of people and they survive that. The amount of anger and dissent and like violence that they would validate on that, who put, on the ones who brought that destruction and death to them, will be unmatched. There can be no peace when death is involved. It just doesn't work that way. Thank you for joining me, and let me know what you think. Because this is about to go really bad. Yeah, it's about to go really bad. Till next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.